Welcome back to the NA LCS. You're taking a look at a viewing party, or you're not. I guess there it is. You're taking a look at a viewing party at Shoeless Joe's in Toronto, Canada, and judging by the name, it's a place that Maple Street would feel rather comfortable. I have to say so myself. Sure. Those couches look comfortable. I think anybody would be comfortable there. Yeah. We are going to get into Team Liquid versus Winterfox in just a minute, but first we want to see what you've been saying on Twitter. To remind you, we asked, who is your NA LCS Spring Split MVP and why? And not surprisingly, a lot of fans were listing off members of TSM. At Muslash writes, Lustboy easily MVP. When your teammates KS you 191 times and you keep playing at the top of your game, you definitely deserve an award.
Yeah, his assists are out of control, and he showed up, too, back at IEM as well, even though it isn't North American LCS, but he really has been just coming out of his shell, and when they first picked him up last year, he's seen nothing but constant improvement and synergy in that bottom lane.
Yep. I just like the way he plays overall. I think his Annie is probably the most fearsome in NA LCS. Gets like Russian Distortion boots, gets a Russian Talisman Ascension, then he like rushes the Righteous Glory as well. Like the guy is like, I'm a one-man team fight starting a crew. Let's go TSM. And like it works really well. It's the first player I've seen do that build. It's very effective. I just love what Lustboy's doing.
Yeah, we saw some shout-outs for Bjergsen as well. But quite a few of you are still saying Golden Age. At So Ren writes, the split MVP for me is still Alphamu. There are fantastic supports in NA, but the Moo puts CLG on his back.
Yeah, very good player overall. I think his champion pool is really fun. We got to see the Ballista combo a while back. He's one of the only Alistair players as well. It's cool to see his innovation as well. And yeah, like the guy's such a good playmaker. He's probably the most, like, in terms of individual one-on-one plays, the most remarkable one. So you can't really deny Alphamu that credit either.
And finally, there were shout-outs for some of the new faces in the LCS, including Team Impulse's Rush. I know you're a fan of his, Irene.
I love watching Rush play because he's just going to go really hard. I'm a big fan of people who are just going to be very aggressive in a competitive setting and try to take it to their enemy. It's double-sided sword, but it's always fun to watch. And I think Rush has stepped up in lane swaps. Coming from solo queue to lane swap as a jungler is not the easiest thing, and I think his decision-making has been right on point these last few weeks.
Yeah, his improvement as a player is undeniable. Well, keep the conversation going. Tweet at LOL Esports and use the hashtag LCS. We're going to turn our focus back to the Rift, though, and our next match, which is Winterfox versus Team Liquid. Team Liquid are now in 7th place, and with Gravity and teammates' losses today, they are now just half a game out of a playoff spot.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's been really strange for Team Liquid, though. They definitely have a chance to do well here, but last week was the second week in a row, really, that Team Liquid didn't live up to their own expectations. They brought Piglet back in. They built a comp around him, and his Vayne was pretty good, but he was the only player that showed up, really. The rest of Team Liquid have looked very lackluster these past 4 games.
Yeah, and then meanwhile for Winterfox, they brought back their lineup from the start of the split and ended the week 0-2. So that, I mean, all that shows is that success wouldn't be as easy as flipping a switch.
Yeah, and Winterfox are desperately looking for that spark back. They are 0-7 in the second half of the split, and they said they were a summer split team. They have to make it to the summer split. Now that they're in relegations and locked in there, they have to focus on coming together as a team, and they started to deviate from their winning formula, which was triple engage.
And it is worth pointing out, especially for this team, that even though they are guaranteed to be 8th, 9th, getting 8th instead of 9th, right? They're tied 1-1 with Dignitas. They have the same record in the season as Dignitas. They need to sort of beat them in the record for these next 2, maybe 3 games that they tie break, to get their choice of challenger team so that they can beat them and they can stay in the summer split.
So without a doubt, a very important game for both teams. We are going to send it over to the guys at the caster desk for the play-by-play.
Thank you very much, Dash. Great hosting on the day, gentlemen. Thanks. And let's check out the teams with a quick roster rundown. On the blue side, it is Winterfox. That means Avalon in the top lane, Helios in the jungle, Pole Belter in mid, Alltech at AD carry, and Glebe back at support.
And on the red side, it's Team Liquid. Up top is Quas in the jungle. I will dominate. Mid, Phoenix, AD carry Piglet, and support X Special.
These guys are talking a lot of garbage here in the lobby.
That's pretty fun.
AP Graves top, maybe. We'll see what they get out of here. It's fun to be in these lobbies.
Yeah. I really do like these 2 teams. These 2 teams have close relationship between the Korean imports as well.
Right.
So there's a lot of friendly banter back and forth between these 2 guys.
Always good to see. back in week 5 when these teams met up. If you remember, that was one of the Quas Fizz games. He got pretty big that game, but actually they couldn't do anything with it. It's just that Winterfox got even bigger.
And yeah, I mean, he got a huge lead on Avalon and his Fizz, and he was just wrecking solo up there trying to split push. But when it came to team fights, he couldn't carry the game.
Right.
And that's really one of the biggest differences in this matchup is the top lane. Quas is #1 top laner, CS at 10, and Avalon is number 10. And we have 10 teams in the league, so that's #1 versus number 10 here. That's where the big beating could probably come down in this matchup. And we'll see.
Especially with the scenario of just 2v1, you can see that's where Avalon, doesn't really get a lot of effect. He is even, I can talk. He has even kind of said it himself, solo queue, you don't get the 2v1 experience. In scrims, it's only so often. So it's really hard to adjust to that immediately on the stage. Bans coming out, Nunu, Hecarim, and Sej. A lot of power picks on that one that we've been seeing lately. And Lulu and Maokai on the other side for Liquid.
All right, so again, Dominate. He actually draws a Nunu ban this time around. Jungler focus from Winterfox, whereas the Urgot is quite a powerful champion. Keen proved his point. It's actually a lot of mid laners and even top laners and AD carries have picked up playing Urgot on the new patch.
Some years down the road in a time capsule to be like, look at this portion of the season. They were trolling banning Urgot. So, what were they doing?
Urgot has been OP before.
He has,
in the history of League of Legends.
It's crazy.
Urgot has had some of the biggest spikes and dips in power.
Yeah.
From best to worst to strong again, probably.
He's Urgot. He's an amalgamation of parts and abilities and strength.
All right.
So Nidalee picked out here. Avalon, they're going to first pick that on the side of Winterfox as we get right into the picks as the teams throwing them on there. Annie as well as Rek'Sai to be used out. So sure initiation as long as the special has that flash up and the Annie Tibbers. That can be something that Liquid can rely on. What a Winterfox kind of put together here. Sion has definitely been something they've reverted back to just for kind of a safe lane and for sure fight as initiation as well.
Yeah, I always do like quick lock-in of some hard initiation after you see a Nidalee. Because yes, it could be a jungle Nidalee, could still be a solo lane Nidalee as well. And having a flash Tibbers, always strong. Wow, what a front line to go with that Nidalee though. Probably support Nautilus, probably solo lane Sion. It could be a jungle Sion though, and Nidalee could go to a solo lane. We'll have to see. Those are very flexible picks, all 3 of those champions. So Winterfox could easily shuffle those around depending on what lane matchups they see locked in from Team Liquid, as they will have to reveal at least one solo laner here. What will dominate?
Renekton.
Interesting. So a Renekton for Quas. As far as beating up Avalon, Renekton is a very strong, still a very strong laning champion. Yes, he was tweaked a little bit, and some more power was moved towards scaling, but he retains some bully power up in the top lane.
Obviously no stranger for Quas or the team. They used it back in week 1 to defeat Counter Logic Gaming, and they'll try to use Renekton once again here to beat Winterfox. Graves picked up for Piglet, given a little bit of hovering over in homage to his Vayne play, but he does not decide to lock that in. He's looking at a lot of tanks right now, though. Not even a lot, but 2 big tanks that are going to pretty much be able to get to that back line if they want to, whether it be ultimates or a giant body of Sion himself.
Yeah, and this is, much more of a standard team than I really expected from Team Liquid. This is Piglet straying away from the Vayne, away from the Kalista, these high skill cap champions that he's preferred very much recently, and going with much more straightforward, also bursty Graves as well as Annie. So a tremendous amount of burst from what looks to be the duo lane here of Annie and Graves. Looks like a double AD carry will be locked in behind that tremendously strong front line. And it will, the top lane could still switch around, but I'm assuming that Avalon is going to be the one with Sion because he's much more tanky player. He just wants to be in there. He can take hits on Sion no matter what happens. And he can lane pretty easily versus whatever is up there. Or he should be able to. We'll see about that Renekton bully.
Very interesting.
Okay, so against Scion and Nautilus here going to have the little bit more extended fights where you can play Vladimir. They
Go ahead.
don't have a lot of lockdown here to deal with.
No, it's got to be. It's pretty much an instant front end
Vladimir.
burst. Hopefully your damage is amplified because Hemo Plague hit, and you kind of get a little bit of oomph on everybody crushing down.
I mean, there is the AoE potential from
Right, yeah.
Team Liquid. They do have a decent amount of burst here.
It's going to be tricky to catch these guys. You got a lot of slippery champions coming out with Nidalee, with Ezreal, even that caliber Nat, a 90 caliber Nat will put Caitlyn in a hard to reach position with her long range. But I like the compositions from both teams. Definitely different things in the mind of each team as they created this composition. They saw what the other team had, but they were kind of like, we're still going with this.
Looks like Team Liquid are going to be fairly reliant on flashes to get around the front line and try to lock down this Italy, Ezreal, Caitlyn, high poke backline from Winterfox.
Well, we'll see if they can crush it down. It's going to be 5-11 Winterfox versus the 8-8 Liquid, who have a few struggles throughout the season.
Team Liquid are really getting down to the nitty-gritty here, trying to fight their way into the playoffs.
See if they can do it. These teams are loading into the game. See if you like the comps. Which one do you like better? We'll see. Tweet hashtag WFX win or hashtag TL win to @LOL Esports, and we'll tally those up throughout the games. I like the Safari Caitlyn. The crowd's ready. Some Kappa faces in the crowd, just ready because Kappa, right? We are going to be on to the Rift in just a moment. It's going to be Winterfox versus Team Liquid. So Phoenix, Vlad mid, Dorans, and some biscuits.
Yeah, Vlad mid can get very, very annoying because it's a short lane, so he's much more protected in the early game, and he becomes that sustained monster that's ridiculously hard to push out of that mid lane. We'll see if Dominate can make some early moves with Rek'Sai off of a good, strong pillar in the mid lane. Phoenix won't be able to create a lot of plays himself, but so hard to push out of lane, and eventually the pressure just builds up from sustaining so long and from shoving so hard. See how he plays it against Ezreal, though. Poe Belter, fairly aggressive mid laner. See if he is able to pull off the same sorts of things that he does in the mid lane when he's on Assassins. Again, this is another deviation from the normal strategy from Winterfox, where they have Poe Belter Assassin, hard lockdown from Helios and Avalon. This time around, the lockdown's not guaranteed from Avalon. It's not point and click. They do have Glebe with point and click, not assault, but Avalon will have to have well-placed Scion ultimates and then land his skill shots. And then they do not have an assassin. They have a backline, poke-heavy backline, that will also be skill shot reliant for Winterfox.
Saw that turret in the bottom lane. Did see Piglet, but it was also in range of the turret, so he gets 1 CS to start the game. See if he can carry that into a lead. Where do they decide to go from here? You know, seeing those early wards, one of these times, just think somebody could put 2 members on the stair, hit it 3 times when they place it.
Yeah.
Then you're screwed.
Well, also, whenever you have a Scion in the game, I'm always curious if they're going to try and pull off one of the cheesy first blood kills, try and circle around behind him. And
Going and poke him once.
Poke him while he's suiciding to it. But won't happen this time.
Hello.
There is going to be an invade from Xpecial. He's been seen.
Oh, yep.
Did Helios see that there was
a little minion?
Did he see it attack him? If he's paying attention, he'll know. He's still going to go for it. That's smart to make Xpecial try and tank it, take the damage. Xpecial should know that Helios does not have Smite.
Oh, no.
Because Helios has the Krug buff visible on his hands there. And he's just going to have to worry about his life.
This is great play by Xpecial here. His Piglet, rather, is getting solo farm to himself. Helios really slowed down in the jungle. Let's see if Dominate can use this to his advantage.
A long delay of the jungle. The double jungle does come there from Avalon, as he, on Scion, is one of the champions where you can actually 2 versus 1. So he's headed to the lane. He's going to try and soak up experience for a while. Count those ranged minions. See how far. It looks like it's not frozen, and it looks like Avalon will
push a little bit.
Will get to soak up some experience. So let's see if they go with a dive or if they send Quas top to do the same. Looks like they are going to come down, try and punish Avalon for this. He'll see them come in. Looks like he's going to make the decision to peace out. Later, guys. So the wave has been successfully controlled here from Team Liquid. They don't let Avalon soak it up. Don't want to let Sion get a early experience start.
There also looks like they're trying to keep somewhat the same going on here. A bit of a push towards the turret coming in from Altec, but he's farther off and letting it push towards him. So won't be getting that top turret as fast as Team Liquid might
big
get this
range
bottom.
minion line that Avalon and Glebe still get to soak up here. So they get a decent amount of experience as Dominate and Quas head up to the top side of the map to do the same. The only thing is Altec has been able to bounce the wave already. So the wave control in Winterfox's favor this early on. However, because of the quick shove there, early little boost of gold for Team Liquid. The gold is easily going to be recouped, though, because of that wave that...
Almost. Chilling Smite right out of the river.
hook.
Walked over a ward. Wait, they can still make this work. Piglet gets himself to safety there. Blowing his flash.
Good scope shots landing.
Yep.
So yeah, Caitlyn can easily recoup a decent amount of the gold up top.
Yeah.
Altec gonna prune the wave and keep it in front of his turret.
Nice little dancing there. Also, we've seen difference between Nidalee junglers. We see Meteos on Nidalee, and he'll go and farm his face off. With a little bit of pressure, Helios kind of decides to go for ganks right away.
Yeah, he went to go try and help them shove the lane up. But man, see how much Quas will be hurt. Looks like he was able to pressure it a little bit. It's still going to freeze in front of this lane. Altec can keep it here. Experience disadvantage for Team Liquid. And Quas teleporting right back. Should be able to... teleporting right back onto that. Oh, no. He left on a Caitlyn trap. Level 5 Altec on Caitlyn. Going to try and bully this cloth armor Doran's Blade Renekton.
Yep.
Whereas Avalon on Sion, especially with the help that he got from the Nidalee early. Let's see if they punish Quas. He's got a ward there. But Winterfox do not want to let Quas get an experience range. So 3 lanes of experience worth of minions coming in for Winterfox. And Team Liquid only getting 2 as Quas continue to be zoned out here. Helios and Glebe heading up to the top lane to zone him as well.
Good choice.
Mid lane, though.
Good choice by Pobelter to start backing. Phoenix just hit 6, but so did Pobelter. Maybe able to get that true shot barrage off. Give himself some breathing room. Yeah.
He does really want to get his early tier, though. So that's why he was thinking about going for the back. Also pretty low.
He actually has 1,400 gold, so he could have been stacking that up quite a bit ago. The pressure from Phoenix. He's been putting it on strong.
Vlad mid, this is going to get worse from here on out. Really annoying to deal with. Constant sustain. Helios also headed up top, so they don't want to let Quas get this experience.
Very lax kind of turret pressure there. Dominate got himself way too into a dangerous of a situation. Thought he had the upper hand there, but
they want to go
Winterfox.
Again here, Helios circles around.
Oh, what a nice hit. The
Good
W
heal.
does not kill him, however. The heal from Altec saves them. They're still going to try to poke shots at Quas. And they're trading the turret back and forth. One last call of the Meek. He does pick up the kill.
But mission accomplished. The wave will continue to die to the turret. This is Winterfox's focus, and it's been a really strong early game focus here on minion wave control and experience discrepancies. Not only that, but they got kills for it as well. So first blood, plus the kills, plus the turret gonna push back, or the wave gonna push back. So Team Liquid definitely having some problems as far as the lane swap and controlling that.
Yeah.
Sion just brings so much. He's ridiculously good in the 2 versus 1.
We saw what Zion Spartan was doing with the other day. He said, I don't know. They just couldn't do damage to me. They couldn't hurt me.
Sion is just ridiculous at the point, right now.
Well,
he's a true zombie.
To great effect. Yeah, put it that way.
But man, I mean, Winterfox were also talking about how they actually got a coach that they feel like is a true coach very recently. And all the members on the team had nothing but good things to say about the new coach they picked up. I feel like the early game, it definitely is showing. This time around, very rarely do we see this strong of an early game from Winterfox, but the side lane control, the focus on denying large minion waves to the top laner, getting Renekton behind is huge. he will definitely have a hard time keeping up tank for tank versus a Scion later in the game.
Right, because that's all he wants to be anyways. See this pressure here now from Avalon, 48-26. Not something we normally see from Avalon to have such an advantage in that lane, but he's been doing well, keeping the beast alive down there.
Team Liquid's hopes, though, rest on Phoenix. The Vladimir mid is working for them, and now he's got his sustain already. He's got Spell Vamp, so he'll continue to pressure Pobelter. See if he can do enough, though, because Ezreal just wants to farm up to his Muramana Trinity Force. Good guess. Oh, no, they have a ward there as well. Close shot, then. He just wants to farm up, stack his tier, and try and get Muramana Trinity Force, where they really can start to use the double AD carry power.
I was going to say, what has Avalon accrued here? And it looks like he went back. Starting up Frozen Heart, possibly, along with something else. Spirit Visage, maybe, as he gets to it. To deal with that Vladimir and Annie. Piglet now pushing the bottom lane as Dominate approaches as well. They actually may pressure something towards Dragon here without vision on Avalon.
And remember, this is a really important game. Team Liquid currently tied. They can still make it into playoffs. They have to beat
they're
out
kind of
Gravity.
sitting in the no man's lander
Yeah,
at this point.
Someone else. Top of my head, can't remember. But Winterfox also trying to get a seed so they can choose their opponent. Promotion relegation.
So, few pushes that don't go too far for either team. They decide to back. We'll see what they come back to lane with. Double tier stack going on now for both Winterfox, Helios, and Pobelter. So a bit of lull in damage here. We'll see if Team Liquid can actually take advantage of this if they approach any objectives. Again, Phoenix keeps cutting in and taking the Raptors. We don't really see that from mid laners too much anymore. It used to be go and steal a Wraith, take your own Wraith. Now
Xiao's definitely still a big fan.
Always. But now Phoenix actually giving that treatment over to Winterfox here in the jungle.
All right, let's see what they can do with this Scion, who's got quite a big lead. They've left Quas for quite a while after taking the turret. Now they're leaving Quas up top, trading a bit of farm going back to Quas for this Dragon control. Dragon number 1 here should go over to Winterfox. Even with Rek'Sai coming down, I feel like Quas is so far behind just because even though he's caught up a little bit in the last minute in CS, he hasn't gone back to purchase with that money, just sitting on the Ninja Tabi. Well, not want to do anything about it.
Timer is better than nothing. So they get that, at least for the next contest. They'll have the roundabout. Still good pressure in the mid here. Phoenix trying to take Pobelter out, but the safety just too easy for Ezreal to just flash out or arcane shift. You can see him trying to keep tabs on Phoenix, though, as well as push the lane. Phoenix almost taking his Raptor, but he leaves it for Dominate to smite the big one. Sure, a friend of that.
Let's see what happens when the top laners meet up once again. Because the wave is right in front of Avalon's turret. There's no vision for Quas. Bottom looks to be the focus, though, as Winterfox bring down some jungle pressure to help with turret damage. Ranged jungler plus Caitlyn.
Yeah.
And whittle that sucker down. Piglet doing his best, keeping up in CS, even though 2 versus 3 down there. And Quas doesn't want to face the Scion, so goes for some deep wards instead. And a little jungle scavenging.
Actually, I like that ward placed by Avalon just outside the try. Might have seen Quas head into the jungle to place some wards, so knows he may have some people coming up behind him if it comes to that. But the vision of Team Liquid is actually in the bottom of the map here. Winterfox knows, and they actually get scried out by Piglet, so they're not going to be getting any advantage out of that bush control. Not too many deep wards now being placed by Winterfox as they were earlier. Team Liquid's able to take control of their own jungle now. Very close game at just about 19,000 gold apiece in that first Dragon going over to Winterfox. Quas steals what he can in that top side jungle. 135 to 115. Phoenix still trying to give the treatment over to Pobelter. But he's getting everything he wants. Stacking that tier and playing it safe.
Let's see, the ward does see Helios. He also is stacking up a tier. just taking it slowly as they scale up. Dominate happy to hard farm his own jungle as well. Looks like Caitlyn down bottom by herself though. Split a little bit safer. Feel like Team Liquid are gonna have to group up and make use of a flash anti-stun to really try and take control. They want to grab this one back. Already though, jungle invade from top laner and support rather than Helios.
We're going to see, watching Special to see where his roam goes. You were talking about that flash Tibbers, and it is available. It would have been a nice moment to happen there as Winterfox placed some more forward wards, trying to keep it on the plate and get themselves an advantage.
Yeah, I feel like they want to try and make use of it sooner rather than later. Both tiers are stacking up.
Oh, yeah.
Sion also stacks up because he gets health after everything he kills. So there's a lot of, and the double AD factor. It's going to be difficult because Quas being so heavily kept down, even if he builds full armor, it's going to be hard to get to the point where he'll be able to survive both these double AD carries. Had such a rough early game. Maybe Vladimir will be able to do some zoning because Phoenix is the large point of power here for Team Liquid and continuing to keep that pressure at mid that we are looking for.
If they can find that situation where everybody kind of focuses Phoenix, but he can pool out of it and call in a lot of the resources of Winterfox, I think that fight may be able to go in their favor. We saw that happening with teammates Cali Trolls. They just try to initiate too much on the Vlad, and what looks like a good initiation falls in favor of your opponent. It's all easier said than done right now. Both teams really haven't found a fight in the last few minutes. Still good that with those charging tiers, we were able to see Winterfox pick up first dragon, even though they were kind of in a lull.
Yeah. So far, this is such good news for Winterfox. This bodes very well for the team. You know, heading towards the end of the season here.
Yep.
Whichever tournament they do play in, because they've been able to stray away from their binary play style, which was always just hard engage, put Belter on assassin.
Right.
They actually have
kill people.
They actually have quite a good late game here with attack. Oh, there's a there it is, the flash stun.
That's the pick they were looking for. Double teleport almost at the same time. I think that is going to be Quas's first, so he may try to lock down Avalon immediately on the backside of that. The true shot barrage comes across nicely from Pobelter, and we'll see what they can clean up. Avalon very big from being in that top lane, but he cannot 4v1 the situation. Belter's Mystic shots are missing. He may have a blue buff, but it's not enough to keep the chase going. It's going to be a 1 for 2.
Winterfox there calling down the teleport after Helios got 100%ed without getting anything off. They do give up an extra kill, but not much bleeding here for Winterfox, so they're still fine. And you can see how much, I believe he was already level 11. I didn't see what level Pobelter was when he cast that, but it looked like the damage from a level 11, you know, rank 2 ultimate from Ezreal. He was able to pick up a good kill. Ooh, Arcane shift forward, and
was level 11.
Is some support for him. But anyway, yeah, the late game scaling. Oh, never mind. Special comes in for another stun.
Pobelter a little too far forward. That's the safety of Ezreal though, and the Arcane shift. But they have to be careful. They cannot stand toe-to-toe with him being that low now and no life steal. Bottom lane still being pushed here as Team Liquid has to organize in mid. The
attack speed bonuses here from Winterfox that they can apply to Caitlyn, both from the Ezreal as well as the Nidalee. Not usual attack speed slows that you think of, or attack speed increases that you think of, but they can actually apply both of those to Altec early on in the game.
Primal Surge and Essence
and
Flux.
Get some very good damage output from this Caitlyn with Infinity Edge already. Very deceptive late game here with the attack speed bonuses from Winterfox and the double AD.
It's a really good point. Let's see if they tag Altec with those abilities. Get him going for this turret. Right now they're focusing on healing themselves, as it may actually turn into a fight. Xpecial gets hit up there, hooked and in. That's Tibbers going down just as fast as he did there when he has to walk it in. It's a little too telegraphed for the team. Avalon doing a little walking in of his own, but didn't get anybody on the ultimate.
Yeah, one of the biggest pain points for any players, along with poke like Xerath, is really big super tank front lines, because she has to get around them to try and stun her priority targets coming from the support role. Ooh, here comes the poke coming into play from Winterfox.
Dominate could have a great pop-up there, but it would probably cost him his life. He would only be getting the pop-up. And they're going to back off. So good pressure on the turret. Once Phoenix is down, you can see only Piglet there to clear waves. And Winterfox was able to still get damage on the turret.
And remember, with the turret changes, the shield is no longer there to defend against poke for the mid lane, and it's greatly reduced on the side lane. So poke comp's much more viable after those changes because you don't really hit that block in the mid game. They got a decent amount of damage there after their kill. Again, we'll see if Xpecial can work around these giant frontline tanks. Very difficult for the Annie without flash. He does have distortion on his Moby boots now, though. So at least he will have reduced cooldown on his flash.
So what?
Come again, marching in.
Oh dear. I was gonna say, what's on the plate for Team Liquid? They're only looking at one turret down right now. What's the best path for them right now?
Like I said, I was in Champions League. This is a very simple comp here from Team Liquid. Renekton, very simple frontliner, doesn't have a lot of surprise factor. Basically, the only surprise factor for Team Liquid are the flashes from Annie and Rek'Sai. Other than that, it's a very standard little team fight that they have. And without vision control here, it's going to be hard to pull off some sort of pick with Annie. And it's just going to be very difficult for them to deal with all of this long-range damage from Winterfox. And once the tank line gets strong enough that Avalon and Glebe can zone out Annie and try and deny that flash play to the back line, we may see Team Liquid get much more desperate. And try something that, they're famous for their attempts at sneaking Baron. Maybe they'll go for some push plays here. Minion side wave control is possible with Rek'Sai since they have an extra teleport here. They have not only their top laner but also Rek'Sai. Maybe they can make a side lane play. Special flash back up though.
Going to be tough. Right now we have Avalon pushing the top lane. This mid turret should go down as Liquid is able to put a bit of pressure here that is unanswered by Winterfox. That's something they had to let happen though. It's just pretty much the clock of the game. But can Liquid pressure this even more? Top lane's going to have to be taken into account now by Quas. He goes up there, and we were talking about, Quas trying to take the Raptors, Pobelter grabbing that away. Those little things are going to compound as well as Team Liquid gets deeper vision in their jungle from Winterfox. If people are trying to take that Raptor, they don't have their sweepers up.
Name of the game is, again, siege up here for Winterfox. They bring their poke to town.
Oh, hello.
Side vision. Oh, he's dead.
Oh! Gets the hook just on the end. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. I think the hook actually hit the wall, and the Zion smash hit him. That should be Dominate going down. He does get hit. 35 seconds on the clock for him. Xpecial kind of Timbers goes right down next to him just because he found it. And Winterfox coming up big there. Glebe just missing on the anchor toss.
Very
have
necessary
that up right
flash from Piglet.
Yes. So Winterfox comes out very big there in the jungle. Phoenix taking a bit of a bad route.
Yeah, man. Ward up your sides with the with the wards from Winterfox.
We were just talking about losing that vision.
Straight back up. You have a poke comp. Go siege up. Start poking. I hate to. I mean, I think it's just the.
You what? You what?
The difference in Winterfox play is so drastic.
Yeah. No, that's so true.
Oh, he misses Piglet. Now,
almost timed it.
I mean, usually we say like there's a big delay before coaching changes really show up in the LCS. I guess it's been, it's been multiple weeks. I guess it's been a couple weeks now. But the early game was such a good start for Winterfox. Okay, let's see. Phoenix just walks right in.
So he was seen by the ping.
Plenty of wards.
He was just trying to get deep.
Trail of wards.
Yeah, he walked over everything.
Try and defend. So Team Liquid, they really look out of sorts right now. Like I said, they picked a team comp that's very, very simple in what you can do with it. And since they didn't win the early game, they're just all out of sorts here, scrambling through their own jungle, faced with a very strong poke comp with a beefy front line that they cannot get around without the flash engages, and they're crumbling under the pressure. just don't expect to see anything different here from Winterfox. They have the strengths. They're playing to the strengths of their team, the champions that they've chosen.
They just
siege back up.
spiked even harder. Seraph's Embrace just finished up. A 23-minute Muramana now finished up by Pobelter, so he spikes even harder. And he got that tier a little late even. He was sitting on 1,500 gold before he could go back, so he was prioritizing getting that charged up. And this is going very well for them. Winterfox, they could take this game and then bring the momentum into a game against Coast, which should still be a win for them. So 2 good wins here could come up for Winterfox.
Such a good new look from Winterfox.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can end it though, because they have also had problems in the late stages of the game.
That's a good point.
As far as shot calling is concerned. So they have the advantage. They are very clear with what their advantage is and the strengths in sieging up. See if they can actually finish it though. Because especially he's looking for that game-changing flash stun from Annie. You 4-man stand
like that. Going in, he took a lot of damage in the beginning, and that's not immediately going to kill Pobelter. He's on the edge hitting. Hemoplague is still ticking on a few of the members, and Phoenix to the back line cannot take down Pobelter. That was their focus. Kobe, this front line of takes cannot be broken.
And the double AD carries did exactly what you have to, stand far apart from each other so that they both don't get hit by a stun.
Right.
Especially was only able to get Avalon and Pobelter, I believe, with that flash stun. And if you still have the Caitlyn free firing from the back there, good job by Winterfox peeling instead of diving.
Yeah.
They've changed pretty much everything about their playstyle. Not only do they not have Pobelter on Assassin, but they've changed the way that they're playing the game accordingly. They're peeling back, defending their back line rather than trying to dive in. Everything going much, much better for the squad. So he flashes in. He did get Pobelter.
Yeah.
So he got Pobelter and Avalon, which is fairly decent. But I'll take on the outside, and Helios hit him with a spear as he flashed in as well.
So bad.
Then the tanks peel back.
Oh, that
Avalon
hook!
soaks up.
Oh! Sorry, Kobe.
They brought
amazing.
lead back in for a reason, Riv.
Yeah, that was a good choice as well. What a hook. Timed immediately as Phoenix came out of being invulnerable. Or rather, untargetable, I should say, not invulnerable.
So maybe Winterfox have finally ironed out all the difficulties. They've been changing so many parts. Changing coaches, changing AD carries, changing positions, changing substitutes. And now
it's almost the same for both teams. It's who's been able to kind of write those quicker.
Both teams have been changing a lot of things here. Team Liquid finally settling on Piglet for the last few weeks here, but still struggling.
Not really finding the composition that works with these guys. Coming in, like you were saying about that coaching, Winterfox, the way they express how the coaching works is something different. You know, people will say, yeah, the coach is helping us with this or that, but you know it's real from them. It's kind of like when you heard what Diamond said Leviathans was doing for Gambit. He's changing our personalities. He's changing this and that. And while it may not be the extent coming from Winterfox's new coach, he's working the right things that need to be worked.
Looks to be the case. I like the game plan this time around, and the execution as well. A lot of the credit has to go to the players. Because we're actually just guessing that it's this coach's impact. It could very well have been the players grouping up.
Things like this as well could be a communication fix, right? These people are only talking during fights. Let's clean things up. Things look much more organized in that sense as well, so we could also say that. Could be a lot of things, but whether it was just on paper or not, they're making it happen in the game.
Good scrying orb there from Piglet. They do have... You don't really sneak Barons against Team Liquid. They always have their eye on it.
Oh, Quas taking so much damage just from a few shots there. That's going to be the depth charge going over to a special. He's caught up. He's taken down. No chance to even get the Tibbers out this time. And it looks like they are going to get everything they want for dinner here. Quas is going to be the next thing. It was just X-Special as an appetizer. It'll take him a little bit. Ultec almost getting hit up on the flank there from Phoenix. He's always trying to get to the back line, which means he's not in the front with the rest of the team trying to make the fight. Scattered as Team Liquid tries to pull these into their favor.
Man, really, really looking like the pressure is getting to Team Liquid here. The slow decline after getting knocked out of 4th place all the way to the bottom of the standings, and the pressure looks like it's too much. in-game as well. Starting to scramble around, getting caught out in their own jungle, not being able to clear out the vision.
Right.
Really on the back foot here. Ever since the very beginning of this game and the wave control from Winterfox in the lane swap. Yes, Sound is a great tool to have on your team to come out with a great lane swap just because he's so good at it. But, oh God, he walked on a Caitlyn trap as well as hit it by his... oh God, that is so painful. Oh my God, and he gets smited for it too. Woo! Helios on the Nidalee, by the way. Let's give some shout-outs to the individual performances of the players on Winterfox.
That's when you just look at your team and you're like, guys, that just happened. Nothing I can do.
Holy moly.
That just happened. Belter and the team making those things
It's
happen.
frustrating sometimes on Rek'Sai. Yes, you know, the sonar passive or whatever you want to call it is a great boon when you're searching around, but you can't see anything that's laid on the ground. And it's walking over trap after trap, getting hit by spears that you can't see coming. Dominate took a lot there.
Helios taking full advantage of the blind Rek'Sai as she was in the ground. 1 minute onto Dragon, the focus from Winterfox towards this side of the map. Team Liquid still have good clear. Once they get to these inhibitor turrets, I can't see the turrets going down that easily without Winterfox crashing through. Wow, Quas is in the entire team here. He tries to teleport in for the fight. He puts on Dominus. He's doing good damage to Ultek here. He's going to be able to take him down. That is a lot of the DPS for the front line gone. Avalon's going to get hit up here as well. Pobelter from the side can only offer a little bit, but Team Liquid has been pushed in so far up until this point. Will they be able to pressure, or do they actually get re-engaged on? Still 30 seconds onto Ultek. Piglet way too far forward here. Phoenix goes in. Piglet rather staying alive with one last shot. Wow.
Can Phoenix get out of that
Liquid
too? Yeah.
somehow dancing this one out on their toes the entire time, playing it safe.
Notice how, Piglet was defending his front line there. When the tank got low, he stepped up as the AD carry to threaten Winterfox so that they could not finish off his tank. He didn't back off. He played very aggressively on this Graves. As they're even behind, they knew that they had to make a play here. With the pick that they got, their opening is very... it's gone already. Does he pick up a kill though? No, not low enough.
Nothing.
So there we go. That is a small amount of breathing room for Team Liquid.
I thought he was gone.
Home guard teleport,
He
though.
pulled the right move.
So huge flank from Quas. It's either a flank or a flash. Oh, Quicksilver was burned from Altec there too.
Sticking on him though.
Xpecial goes straight for him. Does land the stun. Piglet got the ultimate from the backline and they finish him off. That spear from Helios, if that had not hit, then it would have been a completely different story. And a clean sweep there for Team Liquid. But let's watch as this ensues, because Dominate gets super low. When he gets hooked and speared back in, Piglet immediately steps up, and he forces Winterfox off of Rek'Sai to back up. Man, that stun from Xpecial.
100 HP.
The stun from Xpecial, and then the burst there. Phoenix is still very strong on this Vladimir as well. You saw the combo of damage. Whew.
It's the mentality you got to have. You do as much damage if you're going to go down. Sometimes you stay alive, and Piglet found himself there. He's only got 4 assists, though. Obviously, it would be nicer if he had them in kills, but his items are being created. He's just the last Whisper behind right now, but he's just maxing for that crit with the Phantom Dancer, Infinity Edge. So core items finished around. Now Xpecial with that Righteous Glory can get a little bit more to offer with the ultimates. We've seen a few coming into play so far.
Remember, though, that play was just with a teleport home guard flank. That is a long...
From the guy who's been having a tough game, Quas.
Yeah, right. You definitely get props for pulling that off, but it has a very long cooldown.
Yeah, it does.
Yep, there we go, no flash. It's a very long cooldown, and that plus the the anti-flash, the flanny. They
got that flanny move.
They only get flanny once every so often. So without those two surprise moves, it's so simple for Winterfox to group up once again.
Oh, Quas. His Dominus is up, but I don't know about the rest. Can Phoenix get a nice Hemo play again? It's already bent down. Avalon and the rest of the team have a nice position to kind of stand there and let the front line be the wall, let the back line do the damage. Textbook fight coming in there for Winterfox.
And they will be able to get Baron afterwards.
That was
what
clean.
a pickup. This squad with Baron is probably going to be game over. If you bring that much poke with the strong front lines and Baron buff, They can probably make their game-ending push with this ban. Let's see what they go back and purchase.
Yeah, that answers my question to how do Winterfox deal with the pressure and wave clear of Team Liquid at the inhibitor turrets. They just go ahead and grab Baron out of a very nice ace. 33 minutes in, Winterfox playing right as rain right now. Also another Quicksilver Sash for Pobelter. They're keeping themselves super safe. They're not even going to require peel from the front line.
Let's see what Team Liquid come up with. Backs against the wall. They
Yeah.
have to make another surprise play. They've got flashes. They do not have the home guard teleport, but Quas does have flash as well, so checking the death brush like there, or did that go through blue? I think he might have been going for blue. But he very well could have just been checking one of those brush setups, because those are the plays that Team Liquid have to pull off. Brush, hunches, pulling off flashes from Quas and Xpecial to again assassinate the AD carries, both of which have Quicksilvers. Altex looks to be just off a cooldown now. And here comes the siege. Attack speed buff onto Caitlyn, and the turret is toast.
They have really nothing to get to the back line of
Special looking for it.
here.
I'll take it. Pobelter are grouped up.
There's, oh no! Oh, the Righteous Glory went off, and it was just enough of an alert for Winterfox to back off of the inhibitor turret. And it looks like they get everything they want, and the first inhibitor here. Tibbers, he's going to help watch it go down.
Winterfox just have to peel back whenever.
Oh, the hooks onto Xpecial just keep happening. The Eagle Eye Glebe with the anchor tosses. This could be the final fight coming in. Winterfox is taking a bit, though, as they weren't able to organize who was taking the damage. Now that they have their sights set, it's going to be Dominate. Now on to Phoenix. He could be the next one to go down. No more Sanguine Pool for him. Coming out of Zanya's, he is toast. That's the double kill coming up for Pobelter. The AD carry, or double AD comp, 2 times in a row working, and we're going to see it for Winterfox this time.
And Avalon goes down to the Nexus turret so that he can kill it faster with his passive.
All the plays.
Oh, he gets
the mechanics. Quas doing what he can. A Renekton that was pushed so far back this game, making a few plays, but too little, too late, as Winterfox picks up a win over Team Liquid.
A much-needed win as Winterfox are jockeying for position at the bottom of the standings, and a great sign for the future of Winterfox. They kept saying they were a summer split team, and their prospects moving towards summer split look much better after this game.
Absolutely. They moved to 6-11 and push Team Liquid into a -8 and 9 right now. Going to be tough for them. Still need to climb. They're going to need
-8. Ouch.
or 8 and 9.
I'm just kidding.
Negative plus negative. Who's got it? Those guys are, though. 8 and 9 for them. 6 and 11. No negatives. Good call, Kobe. But with that win, Winterfox are going to have good momentum going up against Coast tomorrow. Should be another win for them, and they should be able to round things out at 7 and 11 on the split. Not too shabby.
Yeah.
Bringing Glebe back, definitely a very good answer and move for these guys. Saw a lot of teams have trouble back and forth. This one was one of the ones that worked out.
Yep, great news for Winterfox. Very troublesome for Team Liquid. They really need to regroup after this one.
Yeah. The final push,
hard.
indeed. Their final push now leaves them up against Dignitas. They themselves have been surging a little bit here towards the end of the split and pulling out a few things that have been tricking people. Still not such a good record against the top team, so maybe Liquid can find their way under the skin in that sense. Glebe with the tosses this game. And Piglet, those were the 2 subs we were talking about throughout the game that were just on your screen and really coming out big on the Winterfox side. The double AD comp, as I was saying, also something that helped when Glebe hit the hooks, able to completely take down Team Liquid. And what they had coming out of the lanes, I think, was pretty much just what kind of made that game theirs. They had the CS lead, they had kill leads going out, and then they were able to just start scooping up dragons.
Yeah, such a clear plan from Winterfox and good execution on that plan.
That's what you need right now.
It's all you can ask for from them as well.
Nothing can be sloppy towards the late portion of the season. I wanted to check damages.
But yeah,
Oh, wow.
I really do like that Nautilus into the Annie pick.
That is good. We
As
saw
you
that
get towards the late game.
a lot of times in lane, you're kind of like, well, we have kill pressure at 6, and then you're just like, depth charge. You can stun us, but that's going to go off, and the disengage or the re-engage is there.
Yeah, and that front line, trying to move past CC for Annie is always the hardest part of the game.
Yeah.
If you have these, Sion and Nautilus might be the two most annoying tanks to deal with as Annie.
We'll see. We'll keep tabs on it. Right now, we're going to send it over to Dash and Zyrene at the Telestrator to walk us through Winterfox's win.
Thank you, Riv. First thing I want to touch on immediately is the team compositions here, because we saw that double AD with a massive frontline comp against kind of a wishy-washy engage comp by Team Liquid with the Vladimir and the Renekton, like the Annie for the hard engage. But I'm not so certain that Team Liquid had a very, very well thought out idea of what they wanted to go for here. Maybe they were caught off guard by the double AD.
Yeah, it was a little strange because the double AD were locked in 4 and 5 slot immediately. And it was one of these things where it's a double AD comp that'll work because Nidalee jungle is a thing and it will poke you out and cover your magic damage options. So the fact that they're running a big tanky support, a big tanky top laner that's arguably the best scaling tank in the game at the moment against the worst scaling tank in the moment in the top lane with Renekton, that was kind of a big thing where I was like, Team Liquid have to win laning phase. And they don't have the tools to do it. Like Rek'Sai would have to be very present, but against a Nidalee with that early pressure that she brings, wasn't really going to work out for them. And you saw Xpecial trying to compensate for that at the early red buff where he's trying to harass, trying to keep the jungle down. So it was just this weird draft for me from Liquid's side where I thought they were a little overconfident. I thought that they were just going to crush Winterfox. And Winterfox came out with a really good comp on the 5.5 patch.
Absolutely. And then now let's take a look at how those team comps manifested. We're going to go to the bottom side river. This was kind of a team fight that showcases the safety that was provided to the 280 carries on the side of Winterfox.
Yeah, there's nothing better in the world as an 80 carry player to be like, I can just pop my shots off, I'm safe, I just jump backwards, and my tank line will take care of it for me. And the thing with Team Liquid's comp here is we heard him in the cast say there's no surprises in this comp, except for the Annie flash forward. And if that's the only surprise, you're always expecting it. So it's never a surprise. So you're going to see Xpecial flash in here for the engage, trying to lock up Ezreal. And start rolling the clip out because they're doing the dragon. And the big thing here is Xpecial, that's the only real engage that they have. He flashes forward, he gets Po Belter, but he still gets his E off, and then they immediately counter engage. This right here, Avalon knocks up 4 people. That is the easiest ultimate of your entire life as a Sion player because they are right in front of you. He hits everybody into the air, and that is enough for his 80 carry Caitlyn to reclose that distance, him to continue peeling, Glebe to go after whoever comes after the backline. You're going to see Dom go for that backline. But then Avalon gets a Q, hits Piglet, hits another priority member, and this is just the peel for the double AD carries. And as the clip continues to roll out, you're going to see this. Avalon does an amazing job of peeling, and Altec really almost has nothing to say in this fight. It's all Po Belter and Helios's damage as a combination. Then they come in for the cleanup because of the clean engage. The clean disengage is more what it was.
Yep. So from there, though, I mean, a wonderfully played out composition for Winterfox. That was kind of the story of the game there. Yeah. At this point, Team Liquid too far behind. You know, if they couldn't get him with the all-in there, they're not going to get him with the all-in later when the tanks are even bigger and the 80 carries have even more power from the backside.
And they're both safe 80 carries, too.
Exactly, exactly. So enough about that game. I do want to talk about the fact that this was a huge issue for Team Liquid because this was a game they needed to win. This is going to make that race for that final playoff spot even tougher. You know, we have 3 teams that can all end up in 7th, but Team Liquid now definitely, you know, that game out. It's going to be a tough road for them.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on that Team 8 Gravity game, but now Liquid has to think about tomorrow. They just lost to Winterfox. Dignitas is on the docket for them, I believe, right? And it's very real that if they don't draft well, they don't play to their win conditions, they're not going to walk away with the win, and they'll be in that 7th place spot. So there's a lot of pressure on them coming into this next day.
All right, we'll have to see if they can regroup after today's loss going into tomorrow. Now we've got Team Coast and Team Solo Mid loading into, or rather onto our stage for the 4th match of the day. The action continues after this.
It's going to be Winterfox versus Team Liquid. Double teleport almost at the same time. I think that is going to be Quas's first, so he may try to lock down Avalon immediately.
Come on, Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai. I block Annie one time.
Annie.
Okay, Annie.
I have a heal.
I see
Okay,
it. I'm going
nice.
to go for them.
Gonna kill Pobelter. He's on the edge hitting. Hemo Plague is still ticking on a few of the members, and Phoenix to the back line cannot take down Pobelter. Avalon and the rest of the team have a nice position to kind of stand there and let the front line be the wall, let the back line do the damage. Winterfox picks up a win over Team Liquid.